Yo, what up? This is Quiz. Shout out to DroTV. My first time.
Welcome to My First Time, the podcast about your first time getting high on marijuana. I'm your host, Mike Freeman with DroTV. And today I'd like to welcome our guest, Quiz. Quiz, what's happening?
Yo, what up? DJ Works Hard. Thanks for having me, bro.
You're welcome anytime. What's going on with you, Quiz? Why don't you let our listeners know where you're at right now and what you're working on?
Yep, I'm over at Time is Money Studios in Brooklyn. And right now I've been working with terminology, Slain. I've been working also over at another studio, Mo Sounds. I got to engineer for Anderson Paak and some other people recently. And I'm working on my own music coming out, and I also got my band Watermelon Funk. We're having our second album come out, hopefully by 4/20.
Awesome. So those that might not know Quiz, record producer, audio engineer. Let's see, you play the piano, the guitar, the bass, violin.
Not the violin, but I play drums, guitar, bass.
Drums. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Well, the show is My First Time, Quiz, and what we want to know is the story about your first time getting high.
Yeah, first time I got high, I think I was probably about like 13 or 14 or so.
Okay.
And I had been, I was living in California, so that's, very weed friendly state.
Where in California?
I was living in Coronado, which is
Okay.
like it's like San Diego.
Yep.
Right now I'm grinding up a huge sack, my grinder.
What are you grinding up? What's the bud?
Right now I believe it's some sour D.
Okay.
Some really good shit. I got this grinder that's lasted
Nice. Yeah.
ever. So yeah, and I'm a raw guy. So I got these, the ones I like.
The raw wraps. Okay.
So I'm about to roll a huge doobie to recant.
All right.
This
So
book.
you're 13 years old. You're in Coronado.
Yep, and there's like a little there's up at the school. There's like a little thing. It was called like the something hoedown, or it was like a fall time bash or something. I can't remember the exact name of it, but like all this, I was in middle school, so all the kids are like going there and just like checking out, like, on a weekday at the school, people playing basketball or doing whatever. And my friend, I'll never forget him, Sam, who was into really good music, got me into a lot of good music when I was a kid. He goes, let's go smoke. I'm like, okay, this sounds crazy. So we go to his house because everybody's at that event. We go to his house and we go to his backyard, and he gets an apple and does the whole apple trick where you poke a hole in the apple. And I believe he had a tree house. So we went up into his tree house and smoked weed out the apple. And I was, very naive, very, excited for it. And to be honest, I smoked it, went back to that little, thing, and I didn't feel anything.
Okay.
And so there was nothing really happening there.
So do you remember if he had did he have a screen in the apple?
Oh, I don't think so. I think we would just put like a plug nug or something.
Okay.
But yeah, so I just smoked weed out the apple for the first time, whatever. Then I think I smoked it one more time, maybe out of like a drill bit or something.
Okay.
With a friend. Then the third time, I have been watching how to make a water bong. So, you'll love this. I just got like a typical plastic water bottle. Just cut a little hole in it, and then put like a emptied out mechanical pencil in there, very like crack pipey.
Okay.
And yeah, I barely even put anything over the mechanical pencil. I just shoved nugs in it. So I took a hit of that, and my parents were out of town, so I had the place to myself, and it was me and this girl. I think her name was Anna, and we were in the backyard. I think I was listening to Chili Peppers, my shit, and I smoked the water bong and was like, okay, whatever. And when I come inside, it felt like I had the spins, or sort of like I was drunk.
Okay.
And I go into my living room with a TV in it, and I sit in the chair, and as I shut my eyes, I feel like I'm on a Ferris wheel going really fast, and then I have like a moment of like transportation where I'm in my chair, but I'm looking around, I'm in the desert. I'm just like immediately transported to another dimension. And I'm like, oh my God. And I had just, it's sort of like in Beetlejuice where the guy
Yeah.
walks outside and sees all the sandworms. And they're
Yeah.
like, why? You were gone for like an hour. Like, where were you? He's like, shit, I was just, in my head. So I was completely in my head. And then the worst was I looked in the mirror, and I just looked in the mirror and just tripped out, started crying, just was like, what am I? Who am I? Where am I? Like, what is life? Like, this is too much. And
You sure it wasn't crack you were smoking?
oh my God, I don't know what it was. I think it was, the THC is a very psychedelic drug. And I think also because I was of a young age and had never experimented with any drugs at all, I think it violently burst open that part of my brain. And ever since then, I've had kind of access to like that part of my brain, whereas most people might not know that part of them exists.
Okay.
And us stoners truly do know that part of your brain exists, and you can access it all the time when you smoke weed and just chill out. But there's a lot of people who, especially older people, who are either afraid to try weed, or if they eat an edible, they're rocked and their life is over, and they're like, oh my God, they're out of it. Whereas myself, I could basically run through a dispensary and eat everything on the menu and want some more. So, but yeah, it basically opened my eyes to weed, and it definitely gave me almost like an LSD type thing. I remember my friend came over, and I was just beside myself. I was like crying, and I think he helped me calm me down, and I wrote a little song.
Okay.
And all I can remember was the lyrics, just somewhere in the lyrics were just something, 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 call the army. Because I was like, call everybody. It's like, 911 won't help. You know what I mean? It's like, what's the problem? I'm dead. You ever seen that YouTube where the guy eats the edible
Yeah,
round?
yeah.
He's like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
dead. I died. Send the paramedics. But that was me. And so it was exciting. It was exhausting. I think once I came down, my buddy helped me make the blueberry waffles, and it was that first bite of that first blueberry waffle. And I remember eating that first blueberry, and the blueberry felt like a waterfall of liquid. It was just like blueberries, like sort of like half baked.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Abba Zaba, whatever they said. Um, yeah, so it was amazing, and I got the munchies, I got everything. Um,
Nice.
and that was my real first time smoking weed, and actually kind of took a lot out of me, and I was like, I don't want to do that anymore, so I stopped smoking weed for a little bit. Um, But then at some point, I think I started up a little more. And then when I moved from California to Virginia, I quickly sought out all my stoner friends, and I was smoking weed every day since.
Wow. So you left the weed capital, went to Virginia, which is pretty conservative, I guess, weed
Oh
wise.
yeah, I remember the big thing in my grade was, you know, asking the kids who are a little bit older than you to get some weed, and they wanted, you know, 25 to $30 a gram.
Damn.
Yeah,
Hey,
that was the old high school shuffle, you know.
entrepreneurship, baby. You know.
Yeah, but sometimes, you know, even though it was a very dry sketch state for weed, sometimes there'd be some really good purple, um, and some pretty good weed that people would, you know, get in there.
Nice.
But yeah, it's been known that the high school I went to is a big stoner high school, West Springfield High School in Virginia. All the stoners
Okay.
there, you know.
Shout out to West Springfield, VA.
Yup.
So, Quiz, you've put out numerous projects you've produced for a ton of different artists. Watermelon Funk, that's kind of more of a instrumental funk kind
Mhm.
of project.
We're happy to announce that we got special guests um, on the next album. We got Garrett Scheider, which is Gary Scheider's son. Garrett Scheider is the son of Star Child.
Okay.
Um, and we also got Mono Neon and Kevin Goins from Quasar. These are all really big funk instrumentalists and musicians. So we're definitely in the P Funk family. So I'm
Awesome.
excited for that to come out soon.
Yeah, we'll make sure some links are down in the description below for Watermelon Funk and some of the other projects you have available on
Got going here.
iTunes and Spotify. That's a good roll.
Yeah, that's how mine should be looking.
That's a good roll.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Quiz, let everybody know where they can find out more about you and your social medias.
Awesome. Yeah. So my Instagram is BQUIZ underscore. That's BQuiz underscore. And my to hear my music online, it would be BryceQuinn .bandcamp.com. And then of course on iTunes Music, my name is Quiz, and you can find me with um, Philly G and Quiz, the Crib that came out under Own Lane Music in
You get
2017.
projects with Balin on there too?
Yeah, and there's also projects with Balin. So look up Balin, his artist, on Apple Music, and you can check out Balin as well.
Awesome. And you're in Brooklyn right now?
Yeah, I live in Brooklyn. Yep.
All right. So if anyone needs studio time or an audio engineer,
I'm in Time is Money
definitely
Studios, and
definitely hit up Quiz. Um, you still doing dabs, or you sticking with flower for now?
you know I've been mostly flower recently.
Yeah, me too.
Um, every so often, if I make a trip to Boston or Colorado or somewhere with legal dispensaries, I'll grab some dabs. But when I'm in New York, I'm just really just smoking raws.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Any parting words of wisdom or any other weed stories you want to share with us?
Man, I've had so many. Um,
Who's like the most famous person you smoked with?
uh, the most famous person I've smoked with, um, I would say it would have to be would be George Clinton.
Word.
When I was in Boston, I gave some weed to someone, and it got to George. So That's that's a feat for me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, Quiz, thank you again for giving us some time today. This is the first episode, so you're on episode number 1. So there you go, my friend. Hopefully, we do many more of these down the road as well.
Yeah, man, and peace to everybody else who's included on this. This is a great thing you're doing. Thank you, Works Hard.
Yeah, no problem at all. So that's all the dopeness we have for you today. Thank you again, Quiz. And to everyone out there, have a great day. And until next time, smoke them if you got them. Peace.